thunder of the world is the mere sign of nature's power, yet the thunder of humanity is a mere sign of humanity's attempt for power until they are leveled to humility by the powers of nature. For on equal status does one who regards nature and disregards it, nature's power overrules. However, the one who regards it knows their own power, whereas the one who disregards does not. The matter of living in harmony with nature is thus more of the matter of living in harmony with ourselves, as we are given the body that we must work with from nature. The relationship is that of the heart and mind to body. It is not merely from one body to another or one body to the universe. It starts with the essence, the seed, the bacteria, the material, and grows into the being, the thing, the tree. If it be one organ fails in a human being, the human being as a whole becomes compromised. All a tree can do is obey its own nature if it is to stay alive, thus self-regulating and maintaining, self-governing. All a human can do is the same, thus there is no other nature it requires other than that which directly supports this. This is important to know in regards to realizing what serves us versus what does not. What is a moral or natural obligation versus what is not, especially as to know why it is in our nature to self-govern as opposed to be ruled by anyone. For if we are to personate nature, let us realize that we cannot be that person. But that person is worth emulating to the extent that we apply their teachings, a hive mind for our mind. This is our nature working with the nature of the world. But if we overstep, we claim to be nature or God itself, for which we are not, though within and among. Hence, the need to understand the place of the concept of authority as among where our teachings are to be placed. With time, we learn our place, just as, with time, do the organs develop or the human being grows and humanity as a whole evolves. Now we may beg the question, where is our authority placed? And it can be from merely two sources, either man, his creations, or God and nature. If something is your authority, you depend upon it for your life. Your guidance, your understanding of truth, it's something that you must obey and respect, you see with great value. If you were to depend upon mere man, it won't last. It will not be whole of the perspective of the world. If it's a must-obey scenario, then violence would be required and legitimized, and you would need to have faith that someone else knows what's best or right for you when they aren't you or may not really know who you are or what you believe. If you were to depend upon his creation, it is merely the same facts, for it is a reflection of man, though one might argue for the ever-developing AI, which however still depends on human input and cannot be guaranteed to last or still know wholly. With this at mind, if we inquire upon nature and God as authority, it would last, and our understanding as human beings would need to ever improve, and we may even use our own creations to help us. As it is what we learn from it, it only makes sense. We have no choice but to live in nature or reality, thus it is inescapable, and if we choose to disobey, we basically choose chaos or destruction. We lose a sense of direction among our own self. Thus, again, we see the connection with self as much the connection with nature. But so long as we do not assume to be the self for other people, because we aren't, such would be the nature of illusion or anything man-made accepted as reality. True authority can then be summed as what we accept as reality. If we accept reality as reality, we know what we are following, we obey what must be obeyed. But if we accept illusion as reality, otherwise known as man or his creation as truth itself, we hang from the branches of a tree without the roots, or we live in a tower without the foundation. In other words, we fall because we fail to lead ourselves to the truth. It might be where man props up another man on this tree or tower, but accepting the current state with no regard to the past state. It's like accepting the current man-made government with disregard to all the failed attempts of man-made government of the past, or better yet, the natural government of God or conscience, voluntarism, and self-ownership that always remained. Again, attempts at holding lies does not make the lies truth. A majority holding lies does not make the lies truth. Creating a whole system to purport the lies does not make the lies truth. So may it be, if man attempts to continue to engage in his lies, nature will strike like the thunder it always and absolutely will have within its capacity. For human ignorance is merely their own demise. Nature is the strongest warrior who cares not for you under any circumstance, except for when you care for it by working with it, by learning from it in every way you can. Shall there be a personal care from nature, it is regardless, as humans should do their best if they want the greatest relationship with said deity rather than complacent. And for this being said, realize it's the lack of embracing nature that gets us in our own mess of creations. Thus, one should have discernment to know of their place of action and inaction, recognizing the ever-present natural authority. From the known answer, questions that come to us become easier to solve, or at least the problems we have won't continue or grow as the systems of tyranny grow due to problems being permitted, man-made authority being legitimized. The solutions will continue so long as you question those who very well have their own nature and answer begging to be asked, a natural authority ever prompting to be obeyed. Let us both learn and teach conscience. Thank you very much for watching. This is an article I wrote, Corey Edmund Engelant, that's my name, for the Liberator 2 newspaper, which is also online and in every single format. You can send us your article. I'll turn it into a video for you on any topic related to freedom, voluntarism, self-ownership, morality, growing food, health, whatever it is. If it's about empowering the human destiny, evolving the human race, this is what we're trying to do, and really just make a better world for everybody. All you have to do is ask yourself, well, is my idea important? And would I use violence to make everybody agree with my idea? Or if it's important, why wouldn't I be able to share that with people and then they can come up to their own conclusions because it's important, so they would want to follow it. See, this is the idea, is if your ideas are so good, why do they require violence? And why do you have to presume a position of authority over your fellow man having special rights that they don't in order to help them? Or could you empower humankind and say, I'm among you, I'm not more special than you, I don't have the right to commit immoral actions, nobody does, so I'm not going to put them in power or myself in power. We're going to work together and we're going to voluntarily participate in anything we want to participate in, whatever that is. Tons of solutions, and allow people to explore and be creative and find out, wait, we don't need to beg some people miles and miles away that we barely don't know, nor do we have to engage in these weird political rituals done in certain ways in order to get this world to be in a better condition. There's clearly other ways of how we engage in our life, and people on an everyday basis engage voluntarily, so why do we need to resort to violence in the case of politics? Why does politics need to narrow our options and say this is the way things must be done, telling other people how to live their lives? And why did World War II happen? Why did governments always grow and become tyrannical and fall and lead to the #1 source of death? I mean, these are the questions that nobody is asking. Even in politics, they just ignore morality, philosophy, spirituality, and health, or natural medicine nonetheless. This is what we want to talk about. So if you want to talk about it or you want to learn more, go to theliberator.us, theliberator.us. You can send us your article, I'll turn it into a video for you. Thank you very much for watching.